Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, to continue with the Sagittarius season, the tarot readings for the Sagittarius idols, I'm going to be reading for someone that has turned 18 very recently. I'm talking about Enhypen's Magne Niki. I know he had been requested like a lot of times. I'm aware that he's a lot of people's favorites. I'm also very fond of him, but of course that when it comes to tarot, I do not read for minors. So I know there's people that don't understand, like you know, maybe it's the fanatism, or I don't know what they think about the experience of pulling cards. Maybe some people do, but for me, I wanted to wait until he turned 18. And I still consider him to be pretty young, so I'm very open to read for him. But of course, I want to clarify that I'm just going to display what I see of him. This is why it's going to be personality reading for him and a general reading for him. Because this is the first time, so yeah, let's get in touch a bit with his energy. So yes, this is how I'm going to do it. We're going to start with the archetype cards that he got. We start with the Distractor, with the Mystique card. He also got the Gossip card, and then from another oracle that I have, he got the card of Mercury in Virgo, discrimination. And then from the tarot, he got the Five of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Five of Swords in reversed. So yeah, it's very interesting. While I was shuffling, I was pulling these cards and putting them in order. All these blue colors, you know, of course we have a little bit of purple in there, but these blue colors, you know, this Mercurial card, this Virgo card, all these swords. There's something about that I believe that what energetically what Niki is going through, or probably is going to be facing, probably next year, and he's going to have to train a lot. It has to do with the way he communicates, definitely, and this, I don't think that it has to do with him, you know, with the language barrier or something, like, oh, I don't know how to say this, or I don't know how to pronounce this, I don't know how to spell this, like, I don't understand. Like, there's something about, like, you know, sort of be careful how you communicate, you know, and what you say. Because we start with the archetype of the Distractor. So definitely I believe that he's someone that, even though he probably doesn't intend to be invasive or to just, you know, rub people the wrong way, you know, there's something about him entering situations, or probably groups, or you know, just maybe a community, and him being like, him bringing distraction with him, you know, him being in like just relationships breaking, or situations being destroyed, or maybe some, you know, some changes are happening, you know, and it seems like he's in the middle of this, even though he maybe is not, it's not his fault, and he's not entirely involved, but it seems like he's always in the scene of crime, in the crime scene, you know. So there's something about him having this sort of Distractor energy with him, and people feel it in him. It's like, it could be also something silly as him breaking things. I don't know if he does, but there's something maybe about him, probably, I don't know, being a bit clumsy, and just, like, you know, just doing something, and he just ends up breaking something, or destroying something that was dear to someone else, you know. So there's something about him probably bringing a bit of, you know, events that have to do with the endings, and people just being like, oh, this happened when you came. So I think that for him, it can also make him a bit moody and feeling a bit annoyed that he feels like, oh, this happened when I arrived, like this misunderstanding happened because I'm here. He's him sort of like, until he learns to sort of adapt and sort of use this as an archetype, that seeing it as the positive attribute that it possesses. I think that he at first can feel a bit like out of place, like why people are blaming me for this. Like, actually, I don't know, maybe this object broke because it was shattered already, or it had a defect already, or it was sensitive already, or it was like a bit shaky already, like him being like, maybe the situation was too fragile and I just came into the picture and something broke, so probably he has that. I don't know if people could like saying it as a joke and be like, oh, since you came here, a lot of things are being destroyed, or you came here and this happened, so it's your fault. It's like you bring bad luck, or so I believe that for him, he can get a bit sensitive to this, and actually feel very uncomfortable, and him actually starting to believe that maybe he has, some bad influence. This is why bad things happen. But actually, the archetype of the distractor, it's sort of, he sort of sparks the discussions, or sparks or initiates like the moment of, as you see this volcano erupting, these moments of, the truth coming out, or just like some things that didn't work out ending, and he just brings them out, because sometimes it's necessary to destroy something in order to create something new. And some situations are not that stable. That's why they are being broken, or destroyed. But until he learns to sort of welcome this attribute of his and seeing it more like an attribute, and not so much fear it, or not believe what people say that, oh, you have bad luck, this is why when you are around things get messy, so yeah. And also because in the middle we have the card of mysticism, so definitely I would say Niki has a very magical presence. There's something about him, probably internally being very wise, or probably him having like premonitory dreams, or him being a bit of a psychic, or him being just having a strong mystical force that I believe that he doesn't know how to integrate yet. He doesn't know how to use it. He just maybe believes that is bad luck, or that it's just like something weird about him. So I don't think he still fully understands. But I believe that he's very sensitive. So obviously what people tell him, he also gets a bit like affected by people pointing fingers at him and be like, oh, because when you came something broke, or when you came a chaos let loose, and every time you show up there's issues, so I think that for him it's going to take a while to actually being able to not see himself as someone that has something wrong with him, and actually accept this mystical part, and also not being afraid of having this part of him actually being very healing for others, and actually that he has a gift, probably he has a gift. Maybe I don't think that it's about fortune telling, but maybe it's like he has the ability to, since we're talking about the distractor archetype, there's something about him being able to destroy things and then rebuild them again, or start all over. Is the one that initiates the changes or the transformation. This is why this card has like the purple color, because there's something about about him being transformative. But yeah, for people that maybe don't understand how, how, spiritual things, maybe he doesn't understand it either. It starts very chaotic, and this, if you have these sort of attributes or talents or this gift to be mystical, when you are a teenager, for example, in this era is probably the most confusing times for him, because he's trying to figure out who he is and what he wants, and and what people want out of him, and he's trying to remain also in the material world, all about results or about being the best, and being mystical. It sort of is very distracting for him. It's like, okay, like this doesn't have anything to do with my career. Like, I feel like I have bad luck. But yeah, if he integrates in this gift, he can actually like change lives with this. But yeah, then we have the card of gossip. So I think that, yeah, definitely, probably being a mystic, one of his gift could also be the power of listening. He could be really good at absorbing information or actually remember what people tell him. But I believe that probably because of the life that he's living now, and because of how he's living at this moment, and him being very young, he can actually be someone that uses what he knows of others as for his benefit. So here with the card of gossip, because he's a bit immature yet, there's something about him being a bit gossipy and using this for his advantage, or sort of like talking about other people, and just finding it funny, and not, not seeing how, the words that we speak or what we say, it also has energy, and probably he doesn't see like he doesn't reflect on his actions yet. So he can be in this period of his life where instead of just being, receiving what people tell him and just being very, keeping their secrets and being very respectful, probably, because I believe he's still a child, he talks about it, and he just spills the tea, and he doesn't see what's wrong with it yet. So yeah, Niki could be a bit gossipy. Because then, I pulled an extra card from the oracle of the radiant sun, and he got Mercury in Virgo, so it's another mercurial card. It's also about talking about, the information that you have. What do you do with the information that you have? And the keyword here is discrimination. So I believe that probably for 2024, he's going to learn to somehow be a bit more like organized with what he knows and what he learns as well. There's something about him learning to communicate better. And also with here the keyword discrimination. It talks a bit more about him being able to select and being a bit more like selective about, okay, like be selective about the information that you receive, even though you hear different stories, and maybe he's in the middle of someone gossiping, just be selective, like be smarter, do not get in trouble, like do not repeat things that maybe come from a very doubtful source. I believe that he gets in trouble because there's someone that tells him something, and that person could be lying, or that person could be exaggerating things, but they tell Niki because they know that Niki is going to spill the tea eventually. So there's something that it's sort of like it's not good for him, it's detrimental for him at the end, because he's the one getting caught at the end, and the fingers are being pointed at him, like, oh, you said this, oh, you mentioned this, so you are the one creating the rumors, or you are the one talking about this. So, he has to learn to be a bit more organized, a bit more logical, a bit more intelligent, I would say, and not get caught up in probably unnecessary gossip or unnecessary just false information. I believe that there's something about the environment that he's in, that there's a lot of liar and deceivers around, and because he probably is like, he just gets interested, and probably he gets entertained by listening to other people talk. He's like, oh yeah, really, that happened, and then eventually he makes the mistake to share it or to spill it or to talk about it, and he gets caught. So yeah, with the kind of discrimination, there's something about like being more selective, like don't believe every single word that you hear. And please organize yourself, like organize your matters, like be more focused, like don't just take any people's advice, like just be smarter, observe people more. So yeah, and then from the tarot we have the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords in reverse. So again, a lot of swords. So I think that, and this is something that I often get also for another Enhypen member, for Jay. For Jay, I also get these similar cards, the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. There's something about them being pushed to the side and being like, okay, you need to work on this, or you are not good enough in this. You need to study or practice all over. Like, go back to study this because you are not understanding, or you are not getting it right, or you are not getting the assignment, or there's something wrong with your character and you have to fix this. And I think that for Niki is the same. For Niki, I believe that here, starting with the Five of Pentacles, it seems like he feels from time to time that there's always something wrong with him. He feels left out. He feels like no one understands him, and in this, I am sort of getting the vibe of him being a teenager, him somehow feeling a bit also, going from feeling very sad to feeling actually a bit angry about it, him being like, okay, what else do you want me to do? I already did what you told me. I already exercised, I already practiced, I already did this, like what else do you want from me? Him sort of wanting to, sort of evade certain responsibilities because he's in this period where he's like, oh, I know everything, or I already know this, or I already studied this. So definitely, yeah, it has to do with the way he communicates, or it has to do with the studies. I don't know if maybe I don't know what's going on with Niki and his studies. I don't know if he's still in high school, but there's something about information and also conversations and also ways of expression that they're going to be very much like putting a lot of pressure on him becoming a better student. There's something about them being like, okay, you need to be better at this. You need to study more. You need to, be smarter. Like there's something, I don't know if they feel like he lacks responsibility because there's something about what he does is not good enough. And I don't think that it has to do, because if we think about Niki, the idol, definitely Niki is talented. And I don't think that it has to do with his idol life. I believe probably it has to do maybe with his studies, with his academic. I don't know if maybe they want something out of Niki. They want a certain grade, or they want him to pass some test. But there's something about like, go back to study. Like, study this all over, because you are not giving us the result that we want. So yeah, him constantly being back to study, and there's like a lot of conversations with Niki. This is why I feel like his energy is, I mean, in his case, he is the youngest, so it does make sense. When I see the Page of Pentacles, definitely I see that Niki still has a long road to transit when it comes to experiences. When it comes to also integrating the experiences and learning to be patient with the process, because there's something about Niki that I also feel like probably he is a fast learner. Like what he likes to do or what he enjoys doing, he learns it fast. But when it comes to maybe studies or maybe information, like a lot of information, like books and just words and paragraphs, and like there's something about him not being able to concentrate, and him just wanting to skip these things, avoid them, avoid responsibility. So there's something maybe about the company trying to get him to be more responsible and trying to get him to be not resist the training that he's been given, or not seeing it like a menace, like, oh, they are being mean to me because they are forcing me to do this task over and over and over. And no, in here I think that it has to do with him sort of seeing this as a way of, maybe the company is really invested in his future. They want him to be better. They want him to be the best. They want him to be outstanding. They want him to be, successful. There's something about them, insisting very much with his education, maybe. There's something, I don't know if maybe this is what they ask all the members, to sort of reach a level of education, but they definitely are putting a lot of like insistency in there, sort of creating a lot of routines for to get Niki to concentrate, to get Niki to be a bit much more comfortable with the idea of having routines that are boring, but maybe that it has to do about him having to read a lot of text, and him just not having the patience, or him just being very, imaginary, and him just having like just not so many patience, But then with the Five of Swords in reverse, definitely I can see him start like he stops fighting, he stops like sort of like refusing to this process of being a pupil or being a student, or just being just recognizing that he's someone of his age, that I don't know if maybe this year is the year that he ends school. I don't know. It could be school, it could be a training system, it could be, I don't know the years in high school, how they are over there. But there's something about them being like, you're very close to finish this, so don't give up. So, and also I think that it also has to do with his character. They're sort of trying to teach him to be a bit much more resilient, probably, and not give up at the first conflict or challenge. Because he probably has no patience, or probably there's something about him and information that he just gets bored and he just doesn't want to do it. And they are like, no, you have to do it. You have to pass this. So yeah, but I believe that this also is a very important teaching for him, because it's the way he's going to be in life as well. So he has to learn to be consistent. This is why he has all these pentacles in here, even though he's a Sagittarius. And I don't see I don't see cards that indicate passion. I see cards where it seems like he has to still keep putting the effort to be better and to sort of get out of these obstacles, and just keep practicing, and stop seeing it like, I'm the victim, you're doing this to me on purpose. No, they actually want him to be better. They want to work on his intelligence. Probably they see the potential, but they see that he lacks, like when he doesn't like a certain subject, or when he doesn't like a certain maybe it has to do with the studying. He just doesn't like it, so they have to sort of like insist on it, because otherwise he's not going to complete it. So yeah, this is all I have for him, guys. I hope it makes sense. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.